Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, Chicago Bears fans. Welcome to the Bears Den podcast number 77. We have a great show lined up for you guys tonight. We will discuss the Bears rumor mill that is free agency about to start. As always, please like us, subscribe, follow us, share our content, show us some love. Please, you can find us on Facebook, X, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Don't be shy tonight. Send us your comments. Send us your feedback. We love when the crowd interacts with us. Now let me introduce the rest of the Bears in the Den. I'm your host, Andy. We got our boy Todd here. And we got the bad guy, Chicago Clarence. So again, guys, without further ado, welcome to the show and thank you for watching. So let's get right into it. This morning, woke up. Tyson Bagent is apparently a point of interest for the Arizona Cardinals. Todd, what would you be willing to give up to move him? What do you want in return?
What do I want in return? I'll take that second round pick if they want to do that. That seems a little steep to me, but you know, I haven't thought about what a quarterback costs right now because we haven't had to think about that for a couple seasons. That's new on us. We're usually pretty good at knowing what a quarterback's going to cost us. But yeah, they want to give me pick 34. I would definitely listen to that, you know, and it'd be good for Tyson, obviously. But I'm here for what's good for the Bears, and right now, I can't imagine that's what they'd want to give up. I mean, round 3 for them is what are they? 65.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably pretty fair, but I'd be surprised if that happened.
So, Clarence, would you move Bagent? Because if we move Bagent, we have no second-string quarterback. Case Keenum is not under contract. I know Caleb Williams has been extremely durable, but one could be opening up a can of worms with no quarterback after Caleb Williams. Would you move him? And what do you want in return?
I wouldn't be wanting to hold the kid back. We all saw how emotional he got when he got extended. $10 million guaranteed. That was life-changing money for him and his family. So the opportunity for him to be able to go someplace and start, I think that would be fair to him. And what would be fair to us is I'm not doing it for anything less than a second-round pick. I mean, if he's going to start for another team and it's our backup, then we should be fairly compensated. What's the going rate for a quarterback these days? 25, 30 million a season. So I think it's pretty fair if you give us a second round pick. If you ain't willing to give that up, then I ain't willing to give him up. Plain and simple. As far as what do we need in return, as far as our quarterback situation, there's plenty of people out there that we can sign for a backup. You know, I hear old number one would be available from the Jets.
Yeah, you ain't wrong about that.
So, yeah, it won't be hard to get a backup in there.
I would move Bagent if push comes to shove and I can get some draft capital in return. But I would start the conversation as second. I would settle on a third. I wouldn't go no less than a third.
Yeah,
if you want him bad enough, you got to pay.
Yeah, and I'd want that second. I mean, if it required us kicking back a late round pick, I'd consider that. But
for sure.
if I can get a top 35 pick, yeah, for sure, let's talk about it.
Why would we do that though? They're the ones that's desperate.
I'm just saying, if that seems like a, yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, that seems steep as a price to me, but the kid, what did he go 2-2 the year he played?
Yes.
Fundamentally, he's sound. He's not gonna lose you games. I like Tyson. That second round pick that makes sense to me.
So, guys, free agency is about to start. The rumor mill is swirling. When I say swirling, we're tied to everybody. I don't know how or why, but we are tied to everybody. So, the article, I forget if it was yesterday, Bill Barnwell proposed this trade. I already know the answer because they both my guys already said hell yes. He proposed DJ Moore in a 2026 first round pick, and we get Max Crosby in return and a Raiders 2027 fifth round pick. Todd, would you take this deal as it stands? No more add-ons, no more throw-ins. Would you take it?
If this is on the table and Foles hasn't already accepted this deal, then he should be fired. I mean, this is a no-brainer. We're moving on from DJ's money. I mean, we're replacing DJ's money with Max Crosby's money, but still, I mean, yeah, that's the biggest no-brainer that I've seen in a long time.
Clarence, would you make this move?
So let me get this straight. What would be on the table is a 28, 29-year-old wide receiver making $28 million a year, which is number one wide receiver money, who's performing at a number three wide receiver production. And we're going to give him a 2026 first round pick for Max Crosby, who fits our number one need on the football team, and the fifth round. I mean, sign me up. Yeah. Sign me up. Because as Todd said, we're giving up DJ Moore's money and we're going to receive Max Crosby's money. And to me, it's a no-brainer. We got to update. I mean, guys, we have to upgrade at that position. We should have done it last year. We didn't do it. We found out what happens when you cannot rush the quarterback. The Chicago Bears, at putting pressure on the quarterback, was bottom three in every statistical category at getting the quarterback on the ground. Sacks, hurries, hits, bottom three. You cannot win in the NFL if you cannot get the quarterback on the ground, if you cannot speed up their clock in their head. And we were terrible at it because we don't have pass rushers. So if you can get arguably the best pass rusher this side of Garrett, why not? Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I think widely believed. I don't know anybody, but he's the second best pass rusher in the league, and and they're roughly the same age. I know he's been a little nicked up, but his numbers were solid over 15 games last year. And the Raiders were terrible. So
yes, they were.
That to me, this just makes all the sense in the world. Well, I mean, I can't imagine this is the real deal on the table because honestly, we should have already done it.
No, it's not. Now I want to be clear, it's not. And Bill Barnwell says it's not either. This is just an article he wrote of trades that he would propose if he was running the show.
The rumors are that it's not far off. So,
I can't. To me, if the Raiders make this deal, they're really dumber than I thought.
Well, they're hitting the reset button.
I understand that, but all you're getting from Max Crosby in return is DJ Moore in a fifth round, a
late first round pick.
A late first round pick. Right. That's all you're asking for in return?
A late first round pick in a below average draft.
That's not, to me, the Raiders. I mean, let me ask you, Todd, if the Raiders said, okay, but we want another first and maybe another first.
No. 3 firsts is too much. 3 firsts is when you're in the Garrett range, and that doesn't include DJ.
So what about 2 firsts?
I would do this package with a 27 day 2 pick, preferably a third round pick, but a late second. I would do right now, the most I would do is 2027 second round this first round pick, but it has to include DJ because I want to free up all that money. So the DJ part of it is to me is not a big factor. I mean, if I'm trading DJ Moore by himself right now for a draft pick, what am I getting in return? I mean, what do you guys think?
I think if you get a fourth, you take it.
No, that's what it is. It's the I got to get rid of this guy, so it's a
I got to get rid of
his
contract,
or it's that seems to be the I've got a clear room and everybody just gives up a fourth for it. So and I think that's where DJ's at. So I would do, and the most I would do was 2027 second round, this year's first, and DJ for Crosby, and maybe they kick me back a fourth. I don't know, something like that. But I mean, that's all. That doesn't really matter. But I want this player badly.
Clarence, how far would you go to get Crosby here? If you had to add to this list, how far would you go?
If I had to add to the list, I'm right on line with what Todd says. I would give a 2027 second round pick. I'm not giving you 2 firsts because outside of Crosby, we got options. We can just keep what we got, and we can just go ahead and get Trey Hendrickson, who fits that need. Yes, he has injury concerns, and yes, he's getting a little long on the tooth. But we're talking about maybe a 2-year contract. We can get out from under it after 1, but he fits the need that we need, which is we need to be able to get to the quarterback. So then on the opposite side, where you got Montez Sweat, it keeps him from being double teamed now, and now he's one-on-one, and Trey Hendrickson's one-on-one. We upgrade with our 3 technique and defensive tackle position. Then now we're cooking with gas, but we don't want to be giving up too much capital because this team's got a whole lot of needs in the secondary. Right. We need cornerbacks. We don't have a single safety on our roster right now.
No, we don't.
So we need safeties. So I'm not. I am not throwing in the farm to get this guy when we have the needs that we have. The Raiders is the one that's behind the 8 ball. Well, I would say that as total because they can just take them to another team. I don't want to see the Dallas Cowboys get them. I wouldn't want to see Detroit get them. Right. So if we want to be in the upper echelon of teams, especially in the NFC, and we're not even talking about the NFL, a move like this makes sense. We got to get creative, though, on what we're going to be able to offer.
I could see Detroit doing. If somebody wants to do the 2-1s, then I guess good for them, and that's what they choose to do. I could see Detroit doing. We're at exact opposite spots, right? Like our window just opened.
Yes,
and it feels like Detroit's window is halfway closed. They make this move. They give up 2 firsts. It doesn't really affect them a whole lot. Plus, their first is better than ours this year. So, I could see them being willing to do it because you throw him on the Lions, they're right back in it again. As far
you got to remember. I mean, we're on the clock, guys. We only got 2 more years before we're going to have to pay Caleb Williams, and once that happens, we're going to have to get a whole lot more creative with our salary. So. Yeah. We don't have time to be messing around. Is this guy is keeping you from getting to the Super Bowl? And if the answer is yes, then you need to get creative at getting them.
Yeah, I mean, with Caleb, we can extend over the cap. So, I mean, we have 7 years, but that's pushing it to the max. I mean, that's 5th-year option, which obviously we'll do, and then that's the exclusive rights stuff for
Mm-hmm.
You got to pay him among the top 5, but you're going to anyway.
But what makes you believe he's even going to take the field if we don't extend him? If we just go ahead on and we go ahead and say we're going to do the 5th-year option, a lot of people are not playing because they want that contract. They want, as they quote, that security.
I think we do it anyway. I don't think it'll get that far anyway. I mean, please. I mean,
really? Did you hear what this guy was asking for before he?
No, I know. I understand that. I know. I understand that.
So, guys, let me ask you something. So, we're talking about trade. Basically, we're talking about trading Max Crosby for DJ Moore. We're going to bring in more salary. Crosby is slated to earn $10 million more over the next 2 years than DJ Moore. So, wouldn't it be feasible if we just sign one of these guys? These are the top defensive linemen available in free agency. We don't have to trade. We don't have to give up draft capital. Trey Hendrickson would definitely fit, and he's got the history with Dennis Allen. Jalen Phillips may or may not have been on our radar at trade deadline.
He was to a certain degree, but his injury history is pretty significant.
I mean, we got Bo Mafe, and then
Boye Mafe.
The guy I like the most is John Franklin Myers from the defensive tackle.
Yeah, but we need an edge.
You think we need an edge more than we need a defensive tackle?
No, we need both.
Yes, we do. We need both, but we need an edge more.
We have a collection of guys that can kick inside. That's been our favorite thing in the world. Let's sign a guy, plus he can kick inside. I want a guy that's going to stay outside.
So, and we also have our old buddy Khalil Mack, who's available.
Well, that's true.
And then Bradley Chubb just became available. Would any of these guys interest you?
I don't want to commit to any of those guys for a dollar figure before I've played out the first two guys. I'm willing to hold these cards a little bit. Everybody jumped on the Bradley Chubb thing yesterday, and I don't want to overpay that guy, and I don't want to commit to him, and then come to find out we could have took a bigger swing. You know what I mean?
Well, Bradley Chubb and Khalil Mack, I don't know if that their scheme fits. They're 3-4 linebackers.
Right.
Dennis Allen runs a 4-3. Clarence, any of these three excite you? Mack, Hendrickson, or Chubb?
I mean, Khalil Mack still played well. I think that even with his down year, he was still significantly better than anybody we had on ours. But these are my options. My option two. Exploring one of these guys. I am kicking the tires on the Crosby trade before I even think about any of this other stuff. And yeah, you're right. They're 3-4 linebackers and we run a 4-3. I get it. But Khalil Mack can put his hand in the dirt. Henderson can too, and go get the quarterback. And that's really all we're asking him to do. We need somebody up on the line to go get the quarterback. And to answer the question you asked earlier, Andy, yes, we need an edge rusher before we even think about a defensive tackle. Because we got Grady Jarrett for another year, and he's making a whole lot of money. So we can't just cut him and release him because we're going to have dead money.
Yeah. See, my thing is, I don't see anything special at defensive tackle for us. Who's special? I mean, Montez Sweat is better than any of our defensive tackles. What defensive tackle scares the other team? Anybody?
We don't need that. What we need is two edge rushers that scare the other team.
But we got to stop the run.
I know that, but check this out.
Yeah.
Other teams running the ball on us was not the biggest issue we had. The quarterback sitting back in the pocket with 10 seconds to get rid of the ball is what killed us. So we didn't have a big issue with stopping the run. It wasn't our number one bugaboo on defense. It was the fact of the matter that we could not get to the quarterback. That's our biggest need.
We do have a guy, and hopefully he recovers and is fine. And we have some stuff. We have draft capital invested in him, and he's still cheap. It's fingers crossed that Shamar Turner is going to turn into the guy that we need in the middle.
That's a big ask.
It's not. He was a highly rated player. He was a top 50, 60 pick. I mean, it's not a big ask. It's an ask.
But he's undersized.
He's 275 pounds.
Actually,
but he's undersized. He's like 6'2".
If he's going to penetrate from the middle, and that's what Andy's talking about, getting pressure from inside the middle. I'm not talking about a run stuffer. I'm talking about a guy that's collapsing a pocket from the middle, something that Dexter can't do.
None of our defensive tackles do that.
The only guys. Well, Deo was supposed to, but
But in fairness to Deo, Booker got hurt in camp or in the preseason, so we had to come up with a defensive end. Then Turner got hurt. Then Dominique Robinson got hurt. Like it never came to fruition the defensive line because we always had injuries. I mean, that never came to fruition.
I read they're trying to get off of Deo's deal on medicals.
Maybe because I think that's another horrible contract.
Yeah,
I think his contract,
but it's one more year. If we can get off of it, it doesn't really help us cap wise, but it gives us a roster spot if we can get off of it.
I mean, his contract is bad. Jarrett's is bad.
It's $18 million. It's high for what he does, but But yeah, this is the problem with free agency. If he was worth a crap, why were the Colts going to let him walk, right?
Mm-hmm. So I looked up. Hendrickson is expected to bring in $25 million.
I think
on
that's
a 1-year
high.
deal.
I think
2 years. I'm sorry.
I think Spotrac is fairly high. Well, that's 25 for annual. Yeah. I think it's going to be more than we're paying Sweat, but it's this is just nickel and diming. But I had heard you can do incentive things to jack it up that high, but 21, 22 annually with a year and a half guaranteed. That's what I keep hearing.
And the reason I'm bringing that up is because, like I said, Crosby is going to be expensive. We have to give up draft capital. And here's Mafe.
But he's the second.
Mafe is not bad for $12.2 million.
But he is in the situation that Deo was in. Yeah, maybe he's shown a little bit more, but it's right there. And you're a Super Bowl team. You got they've got capital in them. They drafted him 40th. Why do they let him walk? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And here's some other ones.
Yeah,
Franklin Myers, who I like at defensive tackle. He's only valued at 7.9.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something. Would you rather sign like Franklin Myers and Mafe? You got $19 million tied up. That's less than you're going to get Hendrickson for. You're getting 2 players in return.
You've only got so many roster spots on the line, and you're going to draft there too, right? So, I mean, you could double up, but they have them listed as a defensive end. Franklin Myers, is that right?
He's a DT. So, Clarence, what would you rather do? Would you rather sign like a Jalen Phillips and a John Franklin Myers for less money than you're going to spend on Crosby and not give up draft capital?
The draft capital worries me. I get that. And it all depends on what kind of package we can put together. But we don't have time to be being cheap. No. We gotta be smart with our money. We got a hell of a schedule coming up. And the thing about it is, what's the move that gets us to the playoffs and ultimately gives us a chance to win the Super Bowl? Because I can tell you right now, with the schedule that we have this year, if we don't significantly improve our pass rush and that defensive line, we don't even need to think about the playoffs, because we're not even going to win our division if we can't get better. Now, if we don't get Crosby, then that dude at Ohio State, that D tackle, is a very good addition for us. I like him a lot.
But he's just a run stuffer too. He hasn't shown any ability to collapse a pocket. But he's only 20 years old too.
Caden McDaniel.
But I don't necessarily think that we need to have a pass rusher from the defensive tackle position. That's right, what the edges is for. Because we got to kick people off our linebackers.
Right, but what I'm saying is he doesn't. If you're picking a kid at 25 and all he does is stop the run, that's not a great value at that number, right? They're looking for people.
When is the last time we had a defensive tackle that rushed the pass?
We haven't, but you should be able to get that player at 50 and 75 and 80, or a comparable player that just does a single dimension player. You want to take that, and this draft is part of the problem. It's not very good. It's just replacement player level for the most part. There's 2 blue chip kids in this draft. That I listen to. This is my thing that I do, right? So I mean, I think most of these guys have warts all the way to the top, other than a couple of players in this draft that look like they're going to be perennial all pros. But I'm not saying I don't want to do it, but if I'm picking at 25 and you're one-dimensional, you better be the best damn run stopper in the league.
Here's the problem that I have. Ryan Poles has shown us that he ain't been very good at getting value and filling our needs in the later rounds. So I'm talking about particularly on defense. Now, my thing is, if we are able to go ahead and fix one of our needs, and we need a D tackle, we don't necessarily need him to run the pack to run the to get pressure on the quarterback. We need somebody to fill his gap help us stop the run, because neither one of our defensive ends are very good at that. And either guy that you got coming in, no matter who we sign, is not particularly great at that if you're not getting Crosby. But my thing is, if we could get Hendrickson on the end, for instance, we don't go Grit Crosby, we keep our pick, we draft a dude from Ohio State, we put Hendrickson on that other end, and therefore we solve two problems. And then we keep the rest of our picks and address our secondary, and we still got a little bit money in free agency to address the safety needs and the quarterback needs. We don't need him to rush the pass.
I'm not anti that. I'm just not looking for additional depth. I'm looking for impact players at this level, at this point, because we've been terrible, and we've built a base of players. Now I need the guys that are above just replacement level. I need a guy that's going to make an impact and change the game. But I'm not against that. I think that there's several guys. There's guys that are a little more diverse as far as being able to penetrate and still stop the run. They may not be the best run stopper, but I'm not against that. I hate to get run on. I don't want to play the other side of this. I despise it when we give up these 7 and 8 and 9 yard runs. It just makes me crazy.
The thing that I hate more is when we're giving up third and double digits and we can't get the quarterback off the field.
Right.
I hate that even more.
You've got to make a quarterback uncomfortable. That's more important than having the best run stopper. There's still run, like we're picking in the 50s and we're picking in the 90s, and I can get a run stuffer there too. If I'm getting a guy that's not gonna collapse the pocket, Crosby played on almost 90% of the plays last year.
Yes.
And if you're giving me McDonald and you're telling me stuff to run, then he's playing on 40% of the plays, right? Because he's not going to do anything for me on 3rd and long when we got to go after the quarterback. I've got to have some pressure there too. And that should have been some guys we've already picked, and maybe Shamar Turner can do that. Maybe we already have that guy.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, so to remember, the thing about Caden McDonald is he did what he was supposed to do.
No, I get
that. He was not really asked to rush the passer.
I get that.
He was told to control the A-gaps, occupy 2 guys on the offensive line. So the other guys would always have one-on-one. We really don't know if you tell him to go get the quarterback, if he can or can't.
And he's 20 years old. You can teach.
I like him the most.
I mean, come on. The 2 guys you hear the most time are him and Lee Hunter. Hunter can get off. He's got a quick step. He can get in the backfield. But he's 25 years old. He's playing against younger players. He's hit his ceiling. So everybody's screaming Hunter, Hunter, Hunter because he can do both. But he's going to be 29 at the end of his rookie deal. And I just, and who's to say? I think that Hunter will be there when we draft. I'm not sure about Caden.
So let me ask you another one. I know we haven't talked about draft stuff yet, but I also like Zion Young from Missouri.
Yeah,
he sets a hard edge,
and he got a DUI a couple months ago too.
The hardest edge of the defensive ends that we have in the draft.
They all have warts. He got a DUI 2-3 months ago. Stupid. Some people, all these players, all these kids are like the hottest thing in the world for like 2 days, and they move on to the next guy. I've seen several mocks that have Zion Young in the first round. I'm not buying it. I think he's a second-round player. He's got warts. I think he's a second-round player. And if you can get him in the second round, then great. Then do that all day long.
So, guys, here are the potential cap casualties for us. Tremaine Edmonds. I think it's a foregone conclusion. You got to move on from him.
I'm surprised we haven't already done
it. Cole Kmet. That one I could see them actually extending.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift to me is the hardest one. I'll let Clarence answer it on DeAndre Swift because DeAndre Swift has come out today and said he wants to be back. So, Clarence, what do you do with Swift?
You let him go.
You want
plain and simple.
You would free up Swift.
Yes, I would. I would.
Let me ask you something else. If he came to you and said, "Hey, can you extend me but lower my cap number?"
Let me tell you this. I tell you this all the time. With the kind of offense that we got, that's predicated on play action pass,
Mm-hmm.
There's too many times, and we all watch football together every single week. So we know the problem that this guy has. He's too willing and wanting to bounce outside because he don't want to run between the tackles. We need a guy that can do that. We need somebody who can run between the tackles and break arm tackles. He doesn't do it. Too many times he's looking to fall down. We need a guy that can take that's a home run threat like the Detroit Lions have. 3rd and 1, and I got to hold my breath to see if you're going to be able to pick it up. We need somebody that breaks tackles.
Yeah.
He's not got. He makes too much money when he can't wait to fall.
So my next question would be: do you want to create a problem when we have no problem at running back?
Right.
Todd,
Yeah.
he's gone.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I would. I don't extend him. I don't do anything. I bring him back.
Right.
Show me something. Show me your
But
contract year deal. Show me what you can do. What can you really do in a contract year? And then I let him go at the end of it anyway. Because I think if we replace him in free agency, we're going to overpay on another back. I don't want to do that. He knows the offense now. He had a decent year. I think he has a better year as a contract year this year going forward. I don't think I make a change there at all. I just think he just plays out the steal.
So you don't want to free up his money,
unless I'm bringing in another back. Unless I'm, there was rumors about Achane. If we can bring that kid in, maybe, but I don't know what that costs. Miami's cleaning house, but probably I just let him play out on a contract year and see what he really can do, and then I find a way to move on. I let him walk after that.
So what about your boy Tyreek Stevenson?
You going to replace him for $3.6 million? I mean, come on.
No. So and then the other tough one, Champ is gone again. Cairo Santos, 2.6. This is a tough one because at Soldier Field in the win, you saw he was money.
Yeah.
But then he failed us a couple times on when he just needed a kick out the back of the end
leg
zone.
Strength. That's the.
Yeah, you got to be able to make a 50-yard field goal these days, and we have to hold our breath and cross our fingers when he's out there kicking a 50-plus field goal. We need guys who can put the ball in the end zone on kickoffs. He can't do it.
I think I'd cut him and invite him back to camp and let him try to earn the job. See if we can't replace him. I don't know. It's not an outrageous number for a good kicker.
It's not
he's a good
outrageous.
kicker. He just cannot put the ball in the end zone, on a kickoff.
Josh Blackwell, I think he'll be back. He's a Richard Hightower guy. So is Akbon.
Yeah, but you're talking about 3 special teamers right there. Are you going to tie up $5 million on 3 special teamers?
Can you find a cheaper replacement or a better? Josh Blackwell does well on special teams.
I think Aim and O might not make it. I think Rashawn is gone. What's the point?
Yeah, I don't see why we keep Rashawn Johnson. He was it nowhere to be found all season.
Yeah, no.
You could pay me half the money to do what Rashawn Johnson does, to walk around the sidelines with that stupid little helmet on my head, acting like I'm ready to go in and do something, and he's costing you $1.1 million. I do for $400,000.
Yeah, that's league minimum. You can't do it for $400,000.
Well, heck, then give me that because we're gonna produce the same. He's giving you nothing.
The Players Association have a fit with you.
Man, whatever.
So Todd and Clarence, this is a random fan's dream defensive line this year. It's funny because we talked about this. Trey Henderson, McDonald, Dexter, Sweat. Todd, would you be okay with that defensive line?
I'm okay with that. My first choice is to exhaust the Crosby thing, but to say that I'm not going to say that this is a 70% chance that this happens, but there's probably a 30% chance this happens exactly like this. Clarence,
would you be okay with this defensive line next year?
Javon Dexter doesn't, get me excited, but if I had to go in, this lineup is better than the one we just had last year.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot better. I would be absolutely thrilled with that lineup.
I don't know why everybody's so in love with Javon Dexter. I don't see it.
I don't see it either.
Well, why are people so in love with this guy? I mean, it freaking kills me.
He can't stop the
I mean,
run.
I don't expect them to offer him a deal after next year.
No.
He's up next year, right? I mean, he's cheap, right? At this point, he's cheap.
Yes, he's on a
$2.5
rookie deal.
million, something like that. Yeah,
So he's cheap. You're
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not in love with Dexter. I would let him go. I don't offer him a contract. I mean, to me, he on a Super Bowl team, he's a rotation piece.
Yeah.
He's not a starter. So, guys, let's review the rookie class. Something we have not done yet. Now the season's complete. Todd, I'll let you go first because I know you and Clarence argue about this one. Colston Loveland, what kind of year did you think he had?
He surprised me, honestly. And I've said this over and over again. If he comes into camp healthy,
yes,
he's rookie of the year. He catches 100 balls. I mean, that's what he would have been on pace to. I think he's probably, you know, and Tyler Warren's a great player, and he's right there with him. You know, if Warren had just been an okay tight end, we'd have something. But I think right now, if you had to list, you know, tight ends you'd want to start a team with, you know, those guys are right side by side and probably second or third. And if you look at tight ends in the league, they're fifth, sixth, maybe right now. It's an amazing pick. And Warren can block better, but Colston Loveland can blow up a game.
Yeah. So, Clarence, I'll let you answer because I know you like Warren still better.
I love Tyler Warren, and you know, this is one of those times where I hate to remind you guys that I'm usually right. But Tyler Warren in this offense with the quarterback that we have would have produced bigger numbers than Colston Loveland would have did. Plain and simple. It's so many things you can do with him. You can run him out of the backfield. Are you putting Colston Loveland in the backfield? No. He could play fullback. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. I'm just saying these are the things that he brings to the table that Colston Loveland cannot do. And can Tyler Warren stretch defenses? Yes. Can he outrun linebackers? If you dare to put one on them? Yes. The only reason why people are so in love with Colston Loveland now is because Tyler Warren hit a stretch at the later part of the season where he had three different quarterbacks throwing him the ball.
He lost his quarterback.
Yeah. Daniel Jones started out so high and then came down to earth, and Tyler Warren suffered for it. And that's when Colston Loveland came on. So I still think we picked the wrong guy, but he's here now. We got to rock with him. As far as Luther Burton,
well, we got to rock with him. I'm happy to rock with him. The kid is amazing.
He's fine, but the thing about it is this rookie class in some areas, I mean, come on, guys. How many drop balls that we have from our wide receivers this year?
Wait. I'm still with Colston. All right, so who's a better Bear tight end that we've ever had than Colston Loveland? I mean, you have to go 50 years, right?
It's a Ditka, really.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's amazing. All right, we can talk about Luther now.
Yeah, go ahead, Clarence. Pick up where you left off. What are you going to say about Luther Burton?
I mean, Luther Burton, I think is coming on fast. I think right now, if you ask me to take the two between him and DJ Moore, I'm taking Luther Burton.
Yeah,
he's the one guy that we got right now that he's got dog in him. He fights for extra yards, and none of our other wide receivers do that. I know we're going to talk about Tyreek Hill later on, but this guy right now, you don't have defenses game planning him or he's putting any fear on him. But I think one day he's going to get there. Maybe year 2 or 3, he's going to start scaring people because he can stretch the field. He has that kind of speed. But we need them to catch, but they drop way too many balls. Shamar Turner is on the injured list, so we couldn't really see what he was going to be able to give us. I think Hippolyte had a bright future, but then later on in the year, he was healthy scratches.
Yes,
he couldn't even get back on the field. So that worries me. Mananga was a pleasant surprise. He's not who I wanted, but he's a pleasant surprise. I think that one of the things that he needs to work on, he needs to get his pads lower and run through people. He kind of runs standing up sometime, and that would get you knocked on your behind. Other than that, I think Ryan Post did a fairly decent job. I saw some people saying we deserved an A+ for our draft class. I'm more like B plus. I don't think that we deserve an A plus.
So
that's harsh.
So Todd,
yeah,
PFF gave us a pretty high grade for our draft class.
Yeah,
I think it was too high.
And the crazy thing about it is, it's if you look at it, it's incomplete. I mean, if you look at that middle section, I mean, Frazier didn't play it down. His measurables are off the charts. You know, I don't know if he can play any safety or not, but you have him on the roster.
Yes.
He's big, he's tall. The reason we drafted Hippolyte was our linebacker speed was atrocious. He's really, really fast. They've got to develop that guy. And Newman looks like he can be a reasonable backup. So, I mean, there's a chance where you hit on most of these guys. I mean, Ozzie was solid. It took half a season, but he was adjusting to switching to the other side of the field. You know, he looked promising. If he hadn't got hurt, there'd be no question he'd be our starting left tackle going into this season. So, you know, it's a good draft, even if those things don't work out. But it could be an amazing draft if a couple of those other guys can turn into something. I mean, you're talking about, you know, 4, 5, 6 guys making impact from a single draft, and that's not. You see a couple of guys, 2, 3. If you have 3 guys that make an impact on your roster, that's considered a good draft.
I mean, to me, 4 guys made a huge impact this year. Loveland, Burton, Trapillo, and Monongai.
I mean, I go on about Loveland, but I may like Luther more than I like Loveland. Luther is everything
what was our
we
roster
haven't
before
had.
that, though? Before this class, what did our roster look like?
It was junk.
It was junk. So let me ask you this: based on what we had in our wide receiver, our running back room, is it hard to draft a guy in the 7th, 8th round that was able to come in and contribute, considering who he's going up against when you put Monongai in there?
It's hard.
If you would have put Scatterboo in there, you don't think Scatterboo could have did the same thing?
Yeah, but I'm getting Scatterboo in the 3rd, 4th round. I'm not getting him in the 7th round. I was high on that player. I thought he would have made a difference here, and I thought we should have went for it. We had 3 second-round picks. We could have kicked back down a little lower, made some stuff around. I like that player.
See, I think that Ryan Pose had no choice but to hit on some of these. We had too many needs. It was almost certain to be able to hit at left tackle because we had nobody. The guy who was starting the previous 3 years was absolute trash. And I don't give PFF any kind of accolades because this is the same group that had Charles Leno rated as a top 15 left tackle. We all know what bull that is. He's terrible.
I mean, there's only 32 of them. So, that makes him very average.
You want to tell me that Charles Leno is the 15th best left tackle in the league? No way.
He was similar.
You can play left tackle at your age with a bad back better than Charles Leno can.
I don't know. I mean, 20? Would you take 20? Top 20?
Heck no. He's
got to be in the top 32. He's a starting player.
He's hard. Give me 31 and a half.
31 and a half. That bad. All right. Well.
So Clarence wanted to bring this up. My answers are hard no. Any interest in Tyreek Hill?
Heck yeah.
Clarence, I'll let you go first.
Heck yeah. Tell me what guy we got on our team right now that could take a 10-yard slant and take it to the house. What guy right now that on offense that opposing defenses worries about? We don't have that guy. And we don't even know if he's in the draft. But this dude right here, it's almost unfair how fast he is. It's unfair. And he's a free agent. We don't even have to give him the money that he was making. I think he's at least worth taking a swing on. I'm not saying that we do all we got to do to get him in like we were talking about Crosby. But this guy right here scares defenses. And if he would have had a quarterback in Miami, he'd have put up better numbers than he did. And even at his age, he was the number 1 option. This dude is a threat.
Todd, would you have any interest in Tyreek Hill?
I mean, some interest, I guess. What do you pay him? And what team is the right fit? I mean, Buffalo jumps out at me as a right fit, right? Their passing game's terrible, and they're right there. I mean, that seems like an obvious place for him. I don't know. I mean, is he going to play for $5 million?
Well, I mean, we gotta ask him. But the thing about it is, he wants to win a ring. And most people talking about he should go back to Kansas City. Kansas City has bigger fish to fry than getting him in there. There's Buffalo. There's Houston.
I would be vacationing in Buffalo right now if I were him. It just sounds like a nightmare, but that's what I would be doing.
You see the dudes that the Detroit Lions have on offense, they can hurt you in so many ways. We are trying to get to that level. This guy helps us get to that level on offense. When you got to worry about him, when you got to worry about our run game, when you got to worry about Coast and Loveland, now we're putting fear in defenses. Now we just got a bunch of dudes on there. We don't even know which way we want to go because half of them can't catch a cold.
It'd be interesting in Detroit because he's a different player than Jameson Williams. Williams wants to catch the ball 40 yards downfield, where you're talking about just a 10-yard slant. What you're talking about, that's a different player. I mean, it's intriguing. I mean, sure, I'm interested. I don't know where he fits in money wise.
And my thing is, where does he fit in roster wise?
Slot.
We're talking about a lot of mouths to feed again because as of right now, we still have DJ Moore. We don't know. We don't know for certain he's going to get traded.
Well, I'm assuming DJ's gone in this scenario. Yeah, no, that's
my thing with DJ Moore is who's going to give him that kind of who's going to take on his contract. I think he's going to be back.
Look, the Raiders, and he could, and he's a good player, but
he's not a $28 million. He's
right?
not.
As you know, I mean,
it's a bad contract.
As your wide receiver 2/3, it's not great, but the Raider thing makes sense to me because you've got a veteran guy who doesn't really care about winning. I mean, it's he hasn't won. It hasn't seemed to affect him that much, and you've got a rookie quarterback and you've got a sketchy line. For a year or two, he might be just a security blanket thing for Mendoza. I mean, that makes sense to me. But
you're paying a lot for a security blanket. You're asking a team a lot,
but they've got a lot. But they've got $100 million in cap space. They're what we were 3 years ago with the second or the third or the most cap space in the league. So to them, that's not important.
My thing is, you get somebody like Tyreek Hill in there, then you can say goodbye to Zacchaeus.
I'm saying goodbye to him already in my mind.
Do you want to take snaps away from Burton, Adunze, and Loveland to bring in Tyreek Hill and Walker? I want to see Walker get elevated.
We want to win the Super. We want to win the Super Bowl, Andy. There's nobody on our offense that scares anybody. Nobody. We don't even have anybody who can stretch defenses. So why are we worried about how we
Burton
feed
could.
people?
Burton might when he gets more reps. If we move DJ, we can open up more reps.
You're just talking about sheer speed and look, I have an interest. It's just it's a low dollar. He would have to want to play for us.
I mean, is Burton running by anybody? No. You can't send him out on a fly route and ask him to outrun it. But we know Tyreek can. He can, and he does it religiously, effortlessly. I don't even care if we paid DJ Moore because we couldn't get rid of him and set his behind on the bench. I want somebody in there that's gonna produce. I want somebody in there that takes the tops off defenses. I want somebody in there that takes your offense to the next level. Tyreek Hill does that. And if he says no, then he says no. But we at least got to try.
Sure.
So, Clarence, since you're in on Tyreek Hill, who do you bring in? Who do you bring in, Tyreek Hill or the defensive player that you think we need to get to that next level?
We need the defensive player, number one.
Yes.
Plain and simple. That's number one option. Nothing comes before that unless he's the running back out of Notre Dame. That's the only guy that's going to even make me think twice about drafting a defensive player.
Right.
Because guess what? He will make opposing defenses plan for him. He will put fear in defensive coordinators. He's that type of dude.
Yeah, no, he's the blue chip guy. I mean, he's the guy that's gonna make it. That's gonna be the All Pro. I mean, if we'd have to get to 5 or 6 to pull that off. And
well, I mean, it's been stranger things that happen, but for some reason, if it became a chance where you can get him, then you go for it. But I'm not even in that Kool-Aid right now. I'm thinking about what we can do that don't cost us anything. No draft capital to bring Tyreek Hill in there. It would be almost criminal to not even call his agent and see what the availability is on him.
I mean, you do a heavy, incentive-laden contract, maybe. I mean, we're as good at. To me, the Buffalo thing makes sense just because of how good Josh Allen is and how established they are. But their defense has got awful too. I mean, so but they're in a worse cap strain than we are. They have less the guys they can get money from, than us. But money's not. I mean, he's made a fortune. If he ring, we should be on his short list of teams for sure.
Yeah, I don't see him coming here on the cheap,
Well,
even if it's a chance to win a ring.
Any team that's in their Super Bowl window is going to be financially strapped.
Yes,
because that's just the way it is. So that's going to be the same scenario. Everybody's going to offer him the same kind of money, but it's just where do you think you can really win if that's what you truly want to do?
I mean, yeah, he got paid, but he lost in Miami. I mean, aren't you tired of that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And plus, you bring baggage too. So your price can't be too high because anybody who brings you in is taking a flyer out on. They're taking a chance. They're rolling the dice because they know what you can do. But it's got to be a give and take situation as well. You can't come in there asking for the moon.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I just don't see Tyreek Hill coming here. I just don't.
Okay, let me ask you this. Forget about what you think he might say. I'm asking you, do you call his agent if you're Ryan Bowles?
Of course.
Yeah.
That's
you should
where I'm
explore every option.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. No, you explore every option if you're the general manager. That's what you should do. It's what you're expected to do. I don't have a problem with that. I just don't see him being a Chicago Bear.
Yeah, stranger things have happened.
So, guys, let's head into our final thoughts. Again, thank you for watching us. You can find us on Facebook, X, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. This one's a little tough for me. It's not going to be about football. It's going to be personal. Tomorrow will be 2 years that I lost my mom to liver cancer. That's where I'm wearing this Crucial Catch for Cancer hat, and I'm wearing this hockey jersey, the Fight for Cancer. So that's where I'm wearing it. So 2 years tomorrow, my mom will be gone from liver cancer. So jersey and the hat is to commemorate her tonight. So Todd, what are your final thoughts?
Sorry about that, man. I was just excited about baseball season. Pitchers and catchers have reported. So this is always our I think that the Cubs should be a decent team this year. I think I think they made some pretty decent moves all in all. So, but that's it. I've been spending more time on that than I probably should, but excited about that.
I also want to add today we lost Jesse Jackson.
We did.
I'm not gonna get into politics or religion, civil rights. He wore a lot of hats, but he also wore a Chicago Bears hat his whole entire life. So condolences to his family and friends and loved ones. Again, he was a Chicago Bears fan. So Chicago Clarence, what are your final thoughts?
Well, that actually was my final thought. I was going to look back on the life of Jesse Jackson, someone who took up the fight with Martin Luther King and was actually on the balcony when Martin Luther King was taken from us. I think too often we look at people who took up the fight for equality of every man, no matter what color you are and what your sexual orientation or your religion is. And it's an incredibly hard and brave thing to do, to stand up for other people whom you don't even know. And to be threatened, you have your life threatened and thrown in jail just for you standing up for what is right. It's incredibly hard. The world lost a good man today. But since you brought that up, let me bring up another thing that's got my blood boiling. It's the simple fact that here it is getting ready to hit spring training. Baseball season starts. I'm an Atlanta Braves fan. And we got pitchers hurt left and right, all freaking ready. I don't understand it. Hurston, Waldrop, Spencer Swirling, but what do you guys do in the offseason? The baseball player is the average, highest paid professional athlete in sports. And these dudes are soft as cottonelle. You're a pitcher, for God's sake. You've been sitting around for 6 months. How you hurt already? I mean, give me a break. You got bone spurs? Doing what?
Yeah,
Can
Bone
you tell us
Spurs.
with the remote control? Yes. I mean, two guys who were hurt last year, and they're hurt already and haven't even thrown a pitch. And now, Alex Anthopoulos, our general manager, when we were screaming for you to make moves in the offseason to shore up that pitching staff, you didn't do it. Now it's going to cost us. And I am not going to sit around and watch us lose 70, 80 games again this year because you wanted to be cheap. Or you wanted to roll with the dudes that we did last year, and they can't even stay healthy. You got two guys already out of the lineup. Makes no sense. Do your job. Do your job. Stop living off the World Series that we had 5 years ago. It's over with. We know you made moves, and we won the World Series. So freaking what? I'm Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately? You ain't got no pictures. That's my thought process. I'm sick and tired of watching you sit on your hands and not do anything to help improve this team. And already, if those guys were healthy, we were the third best team in our division. Now look where we are.
It's a long
season.
season.
Yeah, it's a long season. Baseball's a long season.
Yep.
So, again, everyone, thank you for watching. Until next time, bear down. Peace out. Take care.
Bear down.